Thanks for taking the time to view this mental health moment. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Zeph Center Prevention. I recently learned about how bald eagles get their babies ready to fly. I was fascinated on the lesson this principle found in nature could teach us. The mama bird starts with a soft, warm nest. And as her little eggs hatch and her little eaglets emerge, she brings them food from her mouth. But soon after, she innately knows that her little chicks need to be able to feed themselves and develop the muscles needed to fly, allowing them the ability to be able to get food on their own. Eventually, the little eaglets get to be too big to all fit comfortably in the nest. So little by little, she starts to remove that soft downy bedding until eventually her little chicks begin to feel uncomfortable. She then picks them up out of the nest, one at a time, and drops them into the air, while quickly swooping underneath to catch them, all the while flapping her wings to show them what to do. Each time the little eaglets fall a little further before she catches them, until one day she stops swooping underneath, forcing them to recall what they have watched her do so many times prior and flap their own wings to fly. How can we apply this lesson of nature into our own lives? Sometimes I think it takes us being a little uncomfortable to be able to get us to move and change things. Learning to fly often takes situations where we're forced to apply some of life's lessons that we've gleaned from others. Building our own muscles of resiliency, which allows us to get back up when life knocks us down. At first glance, we may think that the mother bird was being harsh, but in reality, she was preparing her little eaglets for the world ahead. And oftentimes, our circumstances in life may seem harsh, but if we allow ourselves to step back, we can see that these experiences help to prepare us for the world that we live in. And if we, like the little eaglets, can apply the lessons that we have been taught, we too can learn to fly. Now we're going to hear from a friend of mine in prevention, share his story of overcoming some of life's challenges. I know that hearing his story will give you something to think about, and even something to smile about.
Hi, my name is Christopher Striff, and I work for the Zeph Center at the Men's Recovery House, transitioning to youth prevention here soon. Very excited for that. I've worked for Zeph for about a year, and I'm really excited to get into my new role. What does prevention mean to me? For me, it's kind of an all-inclusive. I personally believe that whether it's gambling, mental health, addiction, that it all stems from thinking problems, behavior. And if you cure those, if you get to the root of the cause, then all of that is taken care of. You've got to start up here for me. Definitely my thinking, constantly asking myself, what is wrong with me? Comparing myself to other people, worried about the stigma that talking to a therapist can have, especially when I was in law school at a time when I definitely needed somebody to talk to. I was afraid to do so. I thought it would affect my chances of being licensed as an attorney, and so I chose not to take that route. So prevention for me is spreading the word, letting people know it's okay to talk about this stuff, and it's necessary, that we have to talk about it, and let those people who are struggling with issues like that now know there's hope. There's people that want to listen. There's people that care. And that was something that during my own personal struggles, and I'm in recovery. It'll be 3 years in July that I've been clean and sober. That there are people that want to help. I lost faith in humanity. I thought everybody was selfish, so why not? Why shouldn't I be too? Continued drinking, transitioned into drugs, but it all stemmed from my constant thoughts, what I fed myself, what I thought about the world. If somebody challenged that point of view, if somebody came in and tried to talk to me about it. Maybe it could have changed my path. What is the one thing you would want people to know about prevention mental health? That people do recover. It shouldn't be a lifelong stigma where they're gonna. I thought I was gonna get thrown in a room and the key thrown away if I talked about some of the things that were affecting me. Anxiety, constant fear of everything not being accepted, fear of loss, fear of the million ways that something could go wrong in the next important thing in my life. And I thought I was alone. I thought it was only me. So I think the more people that talk about these issues, the more help and the more good will be done. What is the favorite part of my job? It's sharing my story with people, like the guys at the house, guys and the gals who are struggling and can maybe find strength and hope in my story. When people say you have to hit your bottom, I tell people I cannonballed into it and went 3 feet past. Very, very dark times. I went from practicing law to homeless, living in my car in 2 years because of drugs and alcohol. And if I can share that story and provide hope to somebody, then it's all worth it. All right. What do I see as a concern we should have as a community around the issues of prevention of mental health? I think this is closely related to the previous question and awareness and making sure that the youth in the community know that it's okay to talk about it. I've talked to some of the kids at schools and I'm shocked at how open some of them are, and it makes me so happy because I wouldn't have dared bring it up when I was a kid because I, again, thought people would just look at me and say, "What is wrong with you?" and affirm my own thoughts, and I was just so afraid of that. Also, the view that people with mental health issues are deficient in some way. I used to hold that view and about myself mostly. However, today I personally believe mental health, it's just like physical health. People go through struggles. Your mental health will fluctuate. You'll have good, bad days, good, bad years. It's something that affects everybody, and I don't see it as a weakness anymore. I admire those who step forward and have the courage to talk to somebody about it because it's the only way I do believe to kind of figure things out. You need to know that there's hope and that people do care. Are there things parents can do with their children to make them more aware of these issues? I would say prepare them for life. In my own instance, I love my parents to death, but they were overprotective. They kind of tried to shield me from I don't want to sound over dramatic, but the horrors of life to know that some people are not necessarily out for your best interests. I was very naive and I just got destroyed once professionally and once personally, and trusting the wrong people. And those two instances played a major part in my decisions to go to drugs and alcohol, to try and drown out that pain, to try and figure out why this happened. Is the world like this? Prepare them just so they're not blindsided and know what to expect, that the world isn't all rosy and sometimes it can be tough. And I think kids need to know that. What are some of the ways people can cope with a crisis that occurs in their lives, and how does this affect their mental health? Don't be afraid to ask for help. I know when I get down, the last thing I want to do is be social, go talk to somebody, but I never feel better than I do when I leave my counselor's office, and it's something I fought against always. I did not want to talk to anybody about these types of things. Through my story, the courts luckily intervened and said, you have to see this person. And throughout time, trust was built in the relationship, and I will see him monthly for as long as he will see me. It's helped me that much. And what does the community need to know about mental health awareness? It can affect anybody. People do recover. It's not a lifelong stigma. Try not to pass judgment. Try to be compassionate, empathetic, because one day that person could be you or someone you love. And yeah, I just hope that the word is spread, that kids these days can feel comfortable talking about these issues, because I think the more that do, the more issues in their future, drugs, alcohol, anything related to that would be prevented. I hope this video helped. Thank you.